Greetings, comrades. Yes, I'm not dead. This is Admiral Andre speaking to you from across the void of space and time. Instead of going into the whole story, I wanted to show you this game. I don't think we'll do a long playthrough of this. You know me, I disappear frequently. And I was playing this for the last few weeks. And I really thought this would be something interesting to show if you haven't seen anything like this before. So this is a survival game. It's called Empyrion Galactic Survival. It's still in development. It's been out for a few years already. But the great thing is you get excellent mods that really transform the game into something fantastic. So first of all, I want to show you this. So be aware this is modded. If we just go into the top right here, you can see my avatar here. You can customize this a little bit. But anyway, that will be me in the game. So I'm going to start a new single player, and this will be a scenario. Normally you just do survival, but because it's modded, you have to do scenario. And the one I play is Reforged Eden. If you know this game, you probably already play this mod, so you'll know all about it. But there was recently, on the 22nd of July, a brand new update for Reforged Eden. So that makes it even better. Now, this mod also, which is actually a combination of two different mods, Project Eden and Reforged Galaxy, you can check them out on the Steam Workshop if you want. It gives you a lot of different starting options. Now, this game, obviously I like space games, anything to do with space, and in this game you actually have a whole galaxy to explore. So I guess it's kind of like No Man's Sky, but crossed maybe with space engineers. So that gives you an idea of what the game is like. Now, lately I have been trying, the first time I played the game through, obviously in the stock game the story is not complete yet, but I played on this one. I think this is the default easy planet to start on. But lately I've been trying to survive on the snow one, and I've been having a real struggle there, but it's made it actually quite interesting, and that's why I wanted to show you this. So this is technically medium difficulty, but I think it's actually hard, especially for me. So you'll see here we start with only basic equipment. We obviously start in an escape pod. There's a whole story again. Missions are default, which these mods actually transform the whole storyline and make it something much better as well. Now the bad thing is there's a patrol vessel on this planet, so yes, for the early part of the game there's no fighting the patrol vessel, you just have to run. Now I'll just summarize quickly what this game is about, the story here, and the mod keeps the general story intact, it just expands it a little bit. But this is the 25th century, so 24 something, and Earth is basically out of resources and of course environmental damage and all of that. So the humans have united by this point under the United Council of Humanity, and again there's a whole story around that. And this was an expedition to reach Proxima Centauri, but something went wrong and the expedition ended up in the Andromeda Galaxy, and as soon as they arrived they were attacked by the Xerax. And that's why we are falling onto a planet that we know nothing about in an escape pod. So I guess it almost starts like Subnautica. It's the same idea in that sense, survival. So we have to then find out what happened, why are we in the Andromeda Galaxy, and where are the rest of our people? And how many of them survived, and what do we do now? So that's a very interesting take on the whole survival game aspect. So the snow planet I find really intriguing. I did a seed on the other day. I used the date, the 23rd July 21. So this was the day after the new update for Reforged Eden. And that actually made the game very interesting, you know, just aesthetically, because the snow planet then had a ring on it, but when I tried another seed, it didn't. So I guess there's a random aspect there. But the problem now, it reset the whole thing. Let me just go through again to the snow one. There's lots of different combinations here. I don't get to change the size of the planet or any of the starting equipment. But we can see this is a world at the far edge of the habitable zone of that system. And there are some hot tub areas. It's more like rivers and lakes that are warmer, of course, than the surrounding area. So maybe like geothermal areas. So that helps, but of course you basically have to be in there to feel the effects, and you can't stay there forever. The atmosphere is breathable, which makes this easy in that respect. On the arid planet, you can't breathe. There's not enough oxygen. So in that case, you really have to constantly refill your oxygen, otherwise you're just going to suffocate. But in our case, the problem is the cold. The temperature on this planet varies from a maximum of 12 degrees to a minimum of minus 45. And even though we have a light armor suit, we will die pretty quickly in really cold temperatures. Also, as you see here, instant freezing, especially during the night, is a major problem. The other challenge of this planet is that there are only a few resources, so we are very likely going to starve, and that is something that happened to me many times playing this planet. So don't be surprised if that happens again. Now the starting resources are iron, copper, silicon, promethium. You use that for energy, and gold. So this is a good selection here. Of course the rarer minerals are not on Ningwes here, but this will help us get started. So I just want to go into the game name. So I'll say YouTube, just like that, even though it might just be one episode. So the next aspect, of course, is the difficulty settings. Everything is basically on the normal, but even on normal, we are definitely going to be attacked quite frequently because we're on an alien planet and these guys don't want us there. They attacked us, of course, as soon as we arrived in this galaxy. And so they constantly send drones and even that patrol ship to kill us because we are trespassers here. Now I will put on this check mass, volume and CPU points. This doesn't matter at the beginning, so you can just see this for your reference. That's all there. And let's get started. So here you also see July 22 is when this new update happened. So if you haven't played Empyrion Galactic Survival in a long time, I certainly recommend coming back to it with these mods. And of course the combined one, Reforged Eden. Now as we start, we'll be falling out of the sky with an escape pod. So we'll see that happening in a moment. Right, here we go, comrades. We have no idea where we are. We're just falling. We can't control this capsule. It's just falling out of the sky. Bang! Lucky we weren't killed right there. Now, this is the story. So this was changed and overhauled by the mods. So I will look at this. We won't go far into this. I just want to survive a little bit here. So this is just the prologue journey into the unknown. You've awoken in a damaged escape pod, injured and alone after it's plummeted through the atmosphere of an unknown world. With no memory of how you got here and little at your disposal, the crackling of your suit's radio puts you on the path toward answers somewhere out in the wilderness of this alien planet. Proceed. Right, so now obviously for roleplay purposes, you see there we're saying, what is this place? Where the hell am I? The last thing I remember, I was on Apollon Station. That was where the fleet left from. What happened to the station, the crew? I have to radio the fleet. Now this person doesn't know anything here, so he's calling the fleet there. But predictably no one will respond. Radio static. Please command, anyone please respond. Now while he's calling for his friends, I'll just pick up the two things we start with on this planet. And there you can see some kind of signal is coming through, but we can't really read it. So it definitely is a UCH transmission, and therefore our character has hope that there are other survivors here. So this is our first objective. There's probably an antenna among some of the wreckage on the ground that I can use to boost the signal. So I just have to find a functional device, and hopefully they point us in the right direction. Right, but before we do that, we just want to gather some resources. Now there are the rings of this planet, so you can see it's actually quite spectacular, even though it's quite incorrect. You know, as Kerbal players we understand that rings don't form from north to south on a planet. They are always along the equator, so that's a bit of an error there. But the other interesting thing is this system has 2 stars, so the stock game doesn't have that, I think, but that's really interesting. Now, first of all, map. Now we see there's some of the warm water areas on the edge here to the west. There's also our objective, so I think we will go in that direction. You'll see on the top right by the radar there, we are in the crash site area, which is generally a friendly area, but the grove is actually the best for starting. That's what I've heard anyway. It gives you lots of starting resources. Now this is our food basically. This is something that gives us plant protein. Then we can go into our suit constructor and make a protein bar. But this has definitely been nerfed in the modded game, so we're definitely going to have to face some problems with finding food. Now here's also some silicon, so let me mine this with my survival tool. At this point we don't want to carry too many resources. We have a limit, of course, but I just want to grab things while we see them. And I can't pass up the opportunity to get more food. Now of course running around does burn your calories quite quickly, so you have to be very careful of that. But luckily I can jump a bit. We have a jetpack that basically is infinite, and there I'm starting to get cold now. This is a problem because if you're cold you burn obviously a lot of energy, and then you get hungry quicker. But we have these herbal leaves here that we can start making herbal tea with. I think in the base game it's just called a hot drink, but it's the same idea. So I'll just eat this there. And we must... Oh, we're under attack. Get away. As you can see, this game is relentless. Now, I can't do much against the drones. You see, it's a drone there. But... oh my goodness. I do have a defense mode on the survival tool, but it's pretty useless actually. They do leave after a while, so I think we'll just let them go. There's the Xerax Empire. That's our enemy. And we can see there's another one that way. This is the problem of this planet in particular. Now, I think we'll just try and avoid them for now. Now, what was I doing? Let's get a herbal tea. We should warm up. There we go. Just for a short while. Now I should really gather whatever I can here. So on the top right again you can see the temperature there, and under that is the radiation. Luckily we don't have to deal with radiation on this planet. But you can see there the big number, -9 at the moment. That's the actual ambient temperature. And then if you have a look On the right of that you see 15 degrees and under that -9. The 15 degrees, I think, as far as I understand it anyway, that's what I'm feeling right now. Inside the suit basically, and once it gets to around 14 then I start feeling cold, even though it's -8 outside. So it basically pulls my temperature down the whole time. I really need to find more resources quickly. See, I'm running out of food here. Is that enough? Not enough. I can make a little bit of food though. So I see another one there. Let's go get that one while we slowly go towards the broken antenna. So I'll just queue that up. You can queue up only 2 things at a time here, but it gives you access to the most basic things. Then you shift right click to eat, just to stay alive for now. And then again a resource mode for a little bit of silicon. But you see, there's so little here. On some of the other planets you just have food all around you, and plant fibers as well. There, I'm starving to death. Doesn't help much, just a little bit. The best way to survive on this world that I found is you have to hunt. See, it's because we're cold the whole time. It's just draining our food out. And I can't make a heater yet. I don't have iron ore on me. We're probably going to die. We just respawn if we do, but yes, it can be annoying. This is definitely not on Iron Man mode. I've also hunted these guys a lot. They're passive, so they won't attack us. But doing that with just the survival tool is not the best idea. They will fight back if you try and kill them. Now, more food. Now things start to get all loopy and warpy here because we're so hungry we can't think straight. And we're probably dead now. There we go. Ah! Starvation took its toll. Right. Now there's no real cost to dying. It's pretty much like Subnautica, I guess. If you die you just respawn on the normal survival mode. Now I can choose to spawn at my home base, but I don't have one, or a fresh start, but there's no point. So I'll restart at my current location. It's never exactly on that, but you can see there's our backpack. And I'll just use my jetpack to get us there a bit quicker. Okay, Shift F to grab everything. Now, yes, there's some iron. Right, now, resource mode. Okay, now, research. So I'm level 2 right now, and as you explore and pick things and scan things, you do get experience. So I want to get a portable constructor, so I'll unlock that. I have 9 more points to spend, but that's all I want right now. And I will need 5 iron ore, so we don't have enough yet. So we just have to keep our eyes open. You'll also find lots of crash sites all over the place, wreckage and all that. There we are. You can see at the top right now we're in the grove. So we should be able to survive here for a while. Other areas of the planet, like the plains, they're just snow basically. You can't find anything there. Now I can scrap this to get the metal, but not before we know where I'm going to settle down. And it's definitely going to be somewhere here. Now, that looks like an antenna of a UCH Crusader class frigate. There it is. And it looks like it's in good shape, except it's obviously missing the rest of the ship. Now, the goal is to connect my suit up to the maintenance port so I can try and boost my signal. But before we do that, let's just explore around a little bit. So I think we'll build a base, a temporary one of course, just around here. I do love those rings. That's why I restarted several times, you know. I had other seeds as well, but they didn't have the rings like that. And there's a Jupiter kind of planet out there as well. Also, there's another one. Right there, you can see it there. It's another kind of gas giant, but with rings around it. So this is a really interesting system. Now, first of all, I should be getting all these herbal leaves so I can make tea. And we need to look out for food as well. And even just stones like this, we can always ground them into stone dust. There I'm a level 3, which is great because a level 3 allows me to get a heater. Thermal regulator, so that can change the temperature in the immediate vicinity by 30 degrees. But when it gets into a snowstorm on this planet, even that doesn't help you. So that's where I've always run into a problem. And as soon as you build a base, the enemy starts attacking you constantly until you destroy their drone base. And that's quite an undertaking. So there's the warm area. I can just show you how that works. We're at -1 at the moment. And 3 degrees, 5, 6. So this is actually a good area perhaps. 10 if I jump into the water. Now it's 50. Oh my word, I'm cooking alive. Okay, get me out of here. Now it's only 6 again. Let me put my... No, I do have my helmet on, otherwise I'm going to suffocate here. It's interesting, the middle of this area, okay, look at that, it's 94 degrees. I've been to other ones, but they were never that hot. Your suit can withstand it for a little while. No, I think we're going to be building in this area. Yes, oh, enemy. Problem. I'm dead again, am I not? Just keep jumping around for a little while. Get that defense mode. Where is it? There's a drone as well. Very rough planet. You can have a much easier start if you want, but I'm really intrigued by this whole cold scenario. So what we could possibly do then... Okay, it's coming this way. Is to dig a tunnel here. You know, like in Minecraft where you start with a hidey hole. You just dig somewhere and that's where you spend the night. Similar idea, I think. That looks like a rocket drone. Now it's a plasma one. So you can attack them, but you have to pretty much be underneath them to not have them fire back. And the best way to do that is to have them get stuck in the trees. Otherwise, of course, you can attack them with a rifle or a sniper rifle, but I don't have any of that. There, go. Okay, it's stuck here. Now this will take a while. My attack is very weak. So I'll skip this until it's dead. Of course, as you can see on the top left, I'm hurting my relationship with the Xerax at the moment, but they hate me anyway. There, at last. That took a few minutes actually. But the good thing is we can loot some fuel cells and some few other things. The fuel cells are the really big things right now. That gives us all the things that we'll need for our starting craft. But right now, of course, that's still a bit away. So I think now the first thing to do, we do have the constructor. No, we have the heater here. So let me take the T, put it there, and then get the portable constructor as well. And I think we'll actually start by the hot springs there. Let's do that. Now, we did see that one enemy there. That's an infected legacy unit. So we'll have to look out for that. It was around here. But I think this might be a great place to start. 8 degrees, that's pretty good. What about even right here, if we start digging here? If we start digging like back there, then by the time we actually have our little cave, it's going to be in the snow again. And we're speaking of that, we are seemingly, no, that's fireflies. So it says it's almost dark. You can see sunset is in 2 minutes and 55 seconds. That's when the nasty things come out. So what I want by then, I think let's actually, let me get a bit away here. Resource mode. Right down here. There, just a little bit of a flat area to stand on. Then we'll just dig. There we go, already a good beginning. So yes, the only thing is to bring vehicles down here. I guess I'll have to park them there. This is a bit too steep, but just for a beginning, this is a pretty good place. So I'll just dig this out and then I'll get back to you and we will begin to set up camp here. There's another drone on the radar. Right, so some of the water broke through here, but we don't really get the benefit of that, I think. It's more 6 degrees here, but this whole area is pretty good, so maybe that does help a little. So I think this is a perfect place to begin. Now, we have to put down our thermal regulator and our constructor, so I think I might just dig out a little bit more to this end. And it's not really level here, and we don't have the tools to make it level at the moment, so this will do. Then I'll put the constructor there, and of course we can move all of this around again. There's the thermal regulator, so you'll see it's now 25 degrees, so that helps a lot. And I think all of our raw materials, we just dump it into this input area. Now with this basic constructor here, we can already build a lot more than we could in our suit. So I'll just keep the protein on me, I think, and the herbal leaves. Now what I need first of all is a survival tent, and I think since we can't really get plant fibers here just by picking it up off of the ground, we have to chop down a few trees to get the wood. So with that, I don't have a chainsaw yet either, so I'll just use the survival tool. Takes a while. There we go, so that's 12 logs. That will last quite a while. I'll just get some more while we're here. Now, of course, as they said there at the very beginning, we have to watch out for night because it gets so cold you can freeze really quickly. But the positive thing about the night is that's when all the things come out and you can hunt those things and give you all the meat that you want for the next day. So that's really, I think, the best strategy. We'll sleep as soon as it gets dark, and then we'll wake up while it's still dark, and then hunt. Then we should be set for the day. So this is also what I love with this mod, the Reforged Eden. The starting planets all have their own unique challenges and the unique ways in which you can actually address those challenges. But of course you can make it a lot easier if you want to. Right, that should do for now. Now look at that, isn't that fantastic? I want to make this planet my home base eventually, but I'll have to wipe out all the Xerax installations. Now if we have a look at the map, so this is obviously the planet here. If we look at the system, there we can see the twin stars and all the other planets. So these are also some of the ones you can start on with the other settings like the desert planet and so on. But if we look at the galaxy, you see all of these stars you can travel to. Every dot is a place you can visit with planets. But if we look at territories, you'll see we start inside this big red area, and that's the Xerax Empire. So we see some other ones, but we haven't met them yet. But we're right inside their territory. But that is fantastic. It's so beautiful there. Let me do F6, I think turns it off. F12. Perfect for a thumbnail, I think. F6 again. Now let's get to surviving while we still can. Right, fall damage is also a thing. Now first of all put all of this in there and then make me a survival tent, please. There. So it will break down the logs into planks and the planks into plant fibers. That's really the only way we can get plant fibers on this planet. Is there anything else that we want right now? If I can get a pistol, but I can't get... I don't have copper yet, so I can't really get bullets. We still have a little bit of time before it's dark. If I can just find some copper. And we haven't found any resource areas yet, so right now we can only do it through stones like this. No, I think we'll... What's that? Eggs. Keep that. Alright, get back. Let's not risk it. As soon as it's dark, things will start spawning. And that happens when my stamina runs low. Right. It's also nice and hidden here. Okay, now we have the tent. So I'll just take that out. Can we fit it in here? We can barely. Maybe I'll just dig out a little bit more. That should be enough. Right, now I can sleep. So it's dark in 7 seconds. Technically, of course, we'll still see the light there. But I think we will sleep now. So good night, comrades. See you in the morning. Right, it's 4 minutes and 11 seconds until sunrise. We see right there, you see those insect things in the distance. They are fantastic to eat, but difficult to kill. So now the problem is that's why we should wake up now and then instead of going back to bed until it's light, so we can hunt those things because they only come out during the night. But of course, what can I hunt it with? Only my normal little beam, which is not really useful. I would like to unlock a shotgun and see, can I make that yet? I can, but I can't do the shells yet because I need copper. but it's a start. So I'm going to save the game just now, just back it up there. I don't know if it's worth going out to hunt now. All I have is the defense mode here, and that's very weak. And there's a few of them there. Maybe if I can draw one of them away. Just look at those rings. Isn't that fantastic? And there's the moon of this planet, also frozen over. Let's put our light on. There you are. I'd just like to attract one of them. Now it's somewhere in the water. There. Okay, I think we have its attention. And these are predators. There's another one. So I don't feel bad about killing them. Okay, go, 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 go. Jump, jump, jump. The jetpack is very useful. Come on. Right, 1000 XP. Now I must get that. Right, the Argos has been added to our Empyriopedia, so we can read more about it, but it's basically like an arachnid. If it touches us, we're probably... Oh no, there's too many of them now. Then we're probably dead because I have... And there's a drone as well. I have no medicine. There's 3 of them. No! Can't you help me out here? Jump. Maybe we can lose them. Right, where's our hiding place? Just go under the water for now. 0. Get under the water. I don't know if that actually helps. Since we have our helmet on, we are able to breathe. Looks like we're okay. You'll see on the bottom left, our oxygen is our oxygen is right on the bottom there. 351. It looks like it's moving off. Go, 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 go. Right, there's our home. I should mark it. Now, we might have lost this. No, yes, I see them there. That's alright, as long as they're not following us. A shotgun would be much better. Right, get back in here. So now, I did score 2 meat and 2 eggs. So that will help us survive the next day. Take the shotgun. Make some scrambled eggs. You never eat anything raw. And the protein bars I want to make myself here, because I've heard if you leave it in the output here, it doesn't go bad. Otherwise, of course, everything will eventually go bad. But you do get refrigerators in this game. But the output bar basically doesn't activate the decay yet. Not sure if it's true, but anyway. I think we'll sleep for a little bit. Just till it's light now. We don't have need to go out until it's light. You see the things disappear in the day. Right. There's the meat. There's the scrambled eggs. And I'm very hungry. So I'll eat that first. Now it doesn't even nearly fill us up. In the stock game you get a lot more value for the food. So it's a lot more difficult here. Now what's the next goal? Also the other thing is I think we should always take the heater with us. As soon as we start getting cold we have to warm up. Otherwise again our food will just run out. Now it's a balmy 10 degrees here and 25 degrees for me. So it's all good. Now I think we should go out and explore just to see if we can find other copper resources or food or anything like that. So let's do a scan again. Another wreckage. Maybe we'll explore them a little. Ah, level 4. There's another plasma drone. It is coming this way. Let's hide behind the rock. We're hunted from the second we land on this fantastic, beautiful planet. But it is a harsh mistress. I should make some more tea, but I can't really. So I'll just leave the food there in my output. Here's another one. Get it. Everything, every morsel that you get on this planet, you have to take it. Then I think the medium-term goal, before we even really go on the missions, we have to basically gather all the supplies necessary for building a beginner base. And the reason is so that we, as soon as we begin building the base, we can set it all up, and including defense guns, so that we can protect ourselves. Otherwise, if we still have to go look for the resources, by that time we'll be under attack and we'll have no means of defense. And that's what's really fantastic about this game. You can get miniguns and rocket launchers and all sorts of things. So if we just have a quick look here, most of these things are in the stock game. Progenitor research is one of the mods, and I think system upgrades as well. But if we just look at the normal weapons for the base, right on the bottom, and of course the game isn't paused while we're looking at this. So you get the normal sentry guns, then you get projectile turrets, missile turrets, laser turrets, and artillery turrets. Those are the best ones, obviously, but they're also the most expensive. And you even get ATMs, and you can put your money on cards, and it's all a lot of things. And of course you can do multiplayer with this, which would be fantastic, but I just play single player. Right, I don't really see any copper. It's another large wreckage. We'll just check that out. I'm gathering these stones. Again, we can use the crushed stone. All of those we need. Right, let's just have a look at the map. Now there is a resource there, near the escape pod, so I think we'll head in that direction and just have a look at it. Maybe I'll also begin scrapping some of these wrecks here. So you go onto salvage mode, so you get steel plates and components. Takes a while, but it's worth doing this. Otherwise you'd need a lot of iron to make all these steel plates. Right, that's enough for now. We need components as well. So I'll just head off to another wreck. On the radar you can see them marked there. That doesn't really have anything. It's buried under the snow here. Two mechanical components. Right, you can also see right here, well, it was somewhere here. There's the tents and things, so at least we know where to go back. But what I'm looking for is a damaged hover bike. You always start with that, and then you can repair that. But I think before we do that, we'll need to get a motorcycle first. There's another big wreck. Now this is silicon again. I'll just grab everything I can. Food. No, it's used already. There's iron and a bit of copper. Good. Not much. This is only like trace amounts, 1 piece of copper. It's not really worth it, but you should capture everything you can. Now these things I want to hunt, but I definitely want a shotgun first. I leave the babies, obviously. I'm not a monster, but you can get good meat out of that. Now this is a bigger wreck. Let's just see if there's any. Yes, there's a cargo box. Extra oxygen, we don't really need that now. Purified water and antibiotic injection, that's very good. I'll scrap this as well. Right, 1 steel plate, not much, but anyway. I definitely want to see what's in that resource deposit. Now if you do look on the map, you'll see obviously this is what this planet has, and also the meteorites in orbit, the asteroids, they will also have various things, but I just want to see, maybe we can find that out here. These are the ones in space, so these are the asteroids here, and of course there's the planet resources. We have 2 moons actually. Now there's a resource, so let's go detector again, and we're not close enough yet. Copper, great. So I should get as much as possible now. I can't carry much, only 600 volume. I think it's 600 liters volume. So that's why we need the various crafts to carry things. And basically you get 4 different types of things that you can build. Bases, including orbital bases, hover vehicles, small ships basically, to go to space and different planets even, but only in the same solar system. And then you get the big capital vessels, and you can dock other ones to that as well. The fantastic thing about this game is also you don't have to always build them yourself or design them yourself. You can go to the F2 menu and even go onto the workshop and download various blueprints. So let's say you want to build a hover vehicle. Now you'll see lots of different designs here. Let's say you want to build a Panther light tank. Then you have to gather all of these resources, dump them into that box, and then it will get built in the background. Okay, let's just warm up for a moment. That is stunning with the 2 stars there. Now, did we see the copper near here? I think it's underneath us now. So what you can also do, which is another fantastic thing about this game, you can press F5 to activate your personal drone. And you can do the mining with the drone instead of having to go into the holes and fall around and struggle to get out. It does have a range of 60 meters, I think, but you see we are still standing on the surface, but the drone is doing the digging here. In the stock game it does drill a lot faster. They did slow that down in the mod version, but it still works fantastically. Now ideally, if you do have a hover vehicle or any other vehicle, you'll stand on top of it while you're doing this, so you can't easily get attacked. Of course drones will attack you anyway, but if you start seeing blood on the screen, you have to get out of here. Right, so we have 22 at the moment. Now there's also many other conveniences of this. I have played Space Engineers before, quite a bit actually. But what's fantastic about this is you can actually have wireless connections to different vehicles, obviously within a certain range, a few meters and so on, maybe 100 meters. And you can transfer resources directly out of your inventory into the vehicle and vice versa. You don't have to run back and forth the whole time. I mean, it is the 25th century after all. And we do also get teleporters and things like that. Right, I think that'll probably be enough, so I just press F5. I don't actually have to bring the drone back. We never get to see the drone, but it is there. So I think, let's just do a ping here again. One ping only. There's a plasma drone. Right, what's the time? 1 minute to sundown, so I think we'll be heading home now. Right. So obviously the planets are really small in this, and obviously the day is also quite fast, but it's a lot like Space Engineers in that respect. And you don't have to worry about orbits. Again, if you're a KSP player, you'll see a lot of inaccuracies in the physics of this game. Here you just go straight up and you're in space and you're in orbit. You don't rotate around the planet or anything. You just go, just like Space Engineers, you just go up and now you're in space, and you come down and now you're on the planet. Right, where am I going? West, I think, is correct. I really want to hunt these, but tonight we'll hunt the what are they called? Argos, and then we will eat well tomorrow. Right, just grab these. Anytime we get herbal leaves, just keep making tea. That will help with the heat as well. It warms us up for a short time. This is so beautiful. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about this now. The gravity on this planet is 0.59, so just about half of 1G, so I can really go far with my jetpack. Alright, just look for predators in case. Now, where's home? There it is. Right, we're back. And I'll just put the heater down again as well. And we'll just dump all of this stuff. Hey, I have 2 more eggs I need to make. All of this stuff just in here. Stone, we can ground the stone down into concrete or cement for concrete blocks, or even into trace amounts of other minerals like copper and things like that. The spoiled food you also use. You don't waste anything in this game. You use it for nutrient solution, which you use to grow plants in artificial conditions. And stimulants we can make energy drinks with, which help our stamina. Right, let's eat dinner. Then I also want some shells, please. For each one you get 25. So it takes 2 steel plates, 4 carbon substrate, 3 copper ingots and 10 nitrocellulose. But at least we can get quite a few out of it. And then we'll just sleep a while, I think. Let's go to bed again. Good night, comrades. Right. Do we see them? Okay, I think let's see, is everything done? Yes, it does build while you're sleeping as well. So if you're building big blueprints like big ships and things, like this will take 1 hour and 13 minutes, you can just sleep and it's all done. Or in the settings you can just make it instant. Right, let's go hunting, comrades. 5 minutes before sunrise. Now, usually they'll spawn in the same places, so let's see if we can find anything there. If you start with a suit, you can immediately have a light, otherwise you first need to get a suit. So they do give you a flashlight there to start off with. Come on, now that I have a proper gun, where are you? Ah, there's good eating here. Just don't touch me. It will give us diseases, and then we don't... Well, we do have the antibiotic thing. These ones I hate. They're infected. And it touched us even though I jumped. Luckily we didn't get an infection from that. But these ones give us the meat. Yes, good. There's good eating here. Now the legacy, that's part of the storyline, so I won't go into that now, but they play a big role in the story. Ah, sorry, I feel so bad for killing these. I'll leave them alone. Especially with the babies nearby. Let's just see if we can find any of those spider things elsewhere. Sometimes you also find water creatures, but I don't know if they'll exist here. We can just have a look. No. Don't think so. Now you can also build underwater, I think, but the game doesn't treat it as, well, you can build, obviously you need to build airtight things in space and so on, but if you build that underwater, the game doesn't consider it watertight for some reason, so it will fill with water. That's what I've read anyway. Now I saw that drone there. Now is that all that there was to catch this evening? Wait, another one of these ones. They're not good, they don't give you food. Ah, I hate the way they run as well. Now where did it go? On the top left you'll see we get plus to our relations. As long as you're not fighting your enemy or technically in their territory. Ah, we're dead again. Then your relations will go up. I'll show you that in a moment. Right, now you see we have this virus thing here on the bottom left. Now we just got a thorn from that. Pretty useless right now. So if I go into my tab menu here, we'll see I'm infected with dermal parasites. I need antitoxic ointment. I have an antibiotic one, that's useless. Or a decontamination kit. Now I don't have this stuff. We can have a look here. And again, that's the problem with this planet. Everything is so scarce. I need antitoxic ointment. Antitoxic ointment is an alien tooth. No, I don't have those. Herbal leaves I do have. And plant protein. Don't I have a tooth? Sometimes you get a tooth from those things that we just saw that I didn't want to kill. So I should have killed it actually. Or is it from the spiders that you usually get those? I think it's actually the spiders, but it's too late now, I think. We'll just slowly die until we heal this. Hey. Yes, I think those bird-like things are... I fall myself to death anyway. All you get from them is meat and eggs, I think. So I think let's not die too far away from home. So luckily no fall damage in the water. Let's just get out of here. Come on, I don't want to die in the water. Maybe I should put the gun away, that helps. So I can actually swim. Right, yes, the parasites... Eventually the parasites hatch and then it gets even worse. Now, obviously later in the game you can build medical stations and all kinds of things. You also get the decontamination kits, but I can't make one like that. You can buy them, but again, I'm nowhere near to doing that. So, yes, what do we do now? I think we'll just put all this stuff down. Pity we got the antibiotic one. Herbal tea I'll keep on me. No point in drinking that right now. Just take the helmet off. And there you can see my worried expression. Those things, you can't let them touch you. You even get night vision goggles and all kinds of things later. Well, I guess I'll just die here. It's like that meme. Well, I guess I'll just die. While I'm dying, I might as well gather some more things. While the dermal parasites eat me alive. Hey, there's plant protein. Why did I say plant? It's plant. That's rare. You very rarely see that here. In that form. It's usually those hot dog looking plants. Yes, 18. Right. I'm going to the Rainbow Bridge, comrades. Goodbye. All the stars are places you can travel to. Eventually. Ah! A dignified scream. You died. Yes. Usually it says why, but it's the thermal parasites. Right, let's just reload that again. Not in the tent, but where we are now, near to where we are. Right, I've come back from the Rainbow Bridge, comrades. The gods have sent me back to complete my task, like Gandalf. Right, Control F to just pick it all up, and where's our hidey hole? Now, it's still 2 minutes to daylight, so I think let's just cook the food that we brought first. That will be our food for today. And then I think let's get rid of the thorn. You can use that in medical supplies, but there's nothing we can make now. Oxygen I don't need on me. This is just explaining Project Eden, the mod. 80 shells. Can I make more? Yes, make some more shells. Now this is how you build a base, comrades. You can't just put blocks down anywhere. You have to first make a core, and then you have to put the core into a base starter. You see it requires 1 core. Then you put that down, and then you can attach other blocks to it. And if you do that inside the territory of someone, then of course, unless you're friendly with them, it will harm your relations every time you spawn a new structure. But let me just show you while we're waiting here for a moment. Hopefully we won't die now. So F1 is where we have a look at all of the missions. Also the I can't say that word. Empyriopedia, which gives us the information on the Council of Humanity. You can read that here. There's also the general information. So that speaks of the military, the government, Operation Phoenix, which was the plan to get to Proxima Centauri. There were the ships that were part of that. And there's also the journey book that speaks of Earth and what happened to it. So there was the downfall. An asteroid hit the moon, I think, and pieces fell to the earth, and it was a whole cataclysm. So you can pause and read all of this, just not skip anything there. And downfall, and then obviously eventually something was discovered in Antarctica, and that was a spacecraft, and from that, of course, it gave the technology to eventually go to warp technology. But of course something went wrong, and that's why we ended up here in the Andromeda Galaxy. Right, then the other thing is, if we go to the top here, there's the standing with the factions. The Xerax hate us, obviously, and you can see there all of the different things. I can't keep it open, unfortunately, but if you attack their enemies, it will improve your relations. If you spawn a structure or a vessel down there in Xerax territory, it's minus 1,000 unless you're honored with them, which is basically the highest level of relationship. But if we just have a look at the planet again, even though this is technically within their territory, within their space, the part of the planet where we are right now is not claimed. And you can see it's not claimed because there's no borders here. So by building things and so on, we're not really angering anyone. But of course we are still being hunted all the time because we're inside Xerax space, and there's a whole story for why the Xerax want us dead anyway. But you will see other territories on planets, and then there's something outside. And then, of course, if you go into that territory, you can anger the people there and so on. So you get territory in space and you get territory on planets, and there are two different things, really. Right, let's just have a look. It's another one of those things, I think. Oh, it's one of you. Just watch out for those quick runners. There we go, shotgun is good. Just hate those infected things. Right, 4 meat. Oh, this is good. Today we eat well, comrades. Right, back in here. Put that in. Of course the stuff decays. You'll see their perish time is 11. I don't exactly know, is that 11 minutes in the game or 11 hours or what it is. But if you don't put it in a fridge with power, then it will spoil. And the same for the raw meat as well. It's even less perish time. So we just make it. But we'll need to eat it anyway. Right, so just eat it there. And meat is good. Meat gives you 50, I think. 52 food. And a bit of health. And a bit of stamina and temperature as well. Because it's been cooked now. So I think the next objective, and yeah, so we're okay in this place where we are right now, but obviously we can't stay here all the time. I just want to see, is it possible, I doubt that it's possible, to put boxes and things down here. We'll just go onto this and get the base menu and then cargo boxes to store things. I don't think we're allowed to put it down unless it's in an actual base that we own with the core, but let's try it. I'll build one box there, so hopefully, otherwise I'll just keep storing stuff in the builder here. Let's eat more. So what do some of these things mean on the bottom? Well, this one is your jetpack is on, that is your helmet. That means there's oxygen available to breathe either in the atmosphere. I think that's always the atmosphere. If there's no atmospheric oxygen, this will be off, but you'll still have the oxygen on the bottom here. This means there's gravity. That means it's you cannot build there, so someone else's base is there, like in multiplayer or in single player with NPC factions. PvP means just obviously it's in a player versus player area. So again, if you are playing multiplayer, or you know, we're not in someone's base where we can't attack. And this one means we have the material transmitter, which people also call the Wi-Fi there, which means you can access the logistic network remotely. Now to do that you press F4, but you see there is nothing. Then it will access all the boxes in the immediate vicinity. So let's see now. You see I can't put anything down. It has to be part of a base, and I don't have a base. So unfortunately that's not going to be possible. And before we start building any bases, I want to have everything I'll need first. So let's just have a look at this. So the basic things that you need for your base are, of course, you need the core there. So let's build the core now. I'm not going to put it down yet. Then it will just take all the things it needs. Then you need, if you're going to use solar power, I'm not sure how good that will be where we are, because we're on the outer limit of the habitable zone of the star system, as they said, which is why it's so cold here. And it's far away from the stars. We have 2 stars, but I'm not sure if that will actually help us here. So we are probably going to have to use fuel, normal fuel. And there's 2 ways you can get that. The first way is a biofuel, which you get from plant fibers, which you get from wood, logs, so chopping down trees, or picking up plant fibers in the wild, but we don't have those on this planet. Or using fuel cells, and you need promethium pellets to do that. And to get promethium pellets, you need promethium ore. Now, if we look on the map here, we do have promethium deposits on this planet, but I don't know where they are yet. So that's how you power your base, or any of your crafts, really. So if we are going to use solar, we'll need a solar capacitor as well. Otherwise, we need a generator down here. So, but you don't want to build that too close to where you actually live, because it does give off radioactivity, as I found out. But so you can just bury it underneath somewhere, and you can remotely connect things to a base. You don't have to physically attach them to the structure. I'll show you that through the N menu. If you press N, you can say connected to the base if there is one nearby. Just press F again. So we'll need the generator then. We will also need a small constructor. Now, apart from the one that we have already, the portable constructor, the small constructor is the next lowest level of constructor. Then you get the large constructor, and then you get the advanced constructor. But we're a long way from that. Then we'll need the cargo boxes. I think at least 2 of them, possibly 3. So one for the raw material inputs, one for the outputs, and maybe one for other things as well. Then what we need is a fuel tank to keep the promethium, or the biofuel, of course, for the generator. We can also get, just see, we can't see it actually here. We'll need to go into the F3 menu for unlocking things. An oxygen station if you want to oxygenate your base, but you don't need it if there's oxygen in the atmosphere. You need the hydroponics lamp to grow plants, but we're not going to do that yet. An ammo box for your turrets, which we will need as well. A food processor for cooking the food like we can with a normal portable constructor, but you get more combinations with that. And of course a fridge to keep things fresh. Armor locker we don't really need now. The sentry guns as well. So I'm going to unlock those. Just all of the things, the minimum things that we will need. I'll leave the food processor for now. Ammo box we absolutely need. Small constructor we absolutely need. Generator we absolutely need as well. And a fuel tank. So I'm not going to build a base before I have all of those things ready. Luckily I can build a generator right now. I'll just put the core there and turn it into a base starter. You also use cores for building hover vehicles and small vehicles and capital ships and all of that. They always have to have a core. And if you're attacking someone like the Xerax and you want to destroy their bases or ships, take out the core, then the thing is dead basically. You can substitute your own core as well. And then take it over. And we also get lots of different kinds of blocks. You get carbon composite blocks, you get steel, you get wood, you get concrete, you get artificial mass for weight, and there's the hydroponics unit. You get those in different types as well. And the really great thing is, with these blocks, it's not just a square block. There's many different combinations of blocks that you can have. I might build one just to show you. I'll wait until this finishes and then I'll come back. Right, comrades, the generator is almost done. That took a lot of resources and quite a few minutes here. I think that's probably the most expensive thing to start the base with. So that should do it. Then of course it still has to build. I see it's snowing outside, but it's nice and warm in here because of the heater and because of the water. So as I said, sometimes the heater is not enough. So you really have to look for places like this and build right by the water side. There you clearly see the two suns as well. So if we just have a quick walk around here, just want to see what's the actual temperature outside right now. If we just get away from the water, it's about minus 11 or so. So it makes a huge difference actually. There, just press your jetpack before you crash into the ground. Now, where's home again? It's so well hidden. Right, is it done? Okay, everything is done, comrades. So I'll put the generator there. It's quite big, of course. The base starter, but I'll just store them in here for now. And then the block, which I just wanted to show you for interest's sake. So if you, of course I can't build anything now, but if you right click you get the full menu here, but this is just the basic shapes. All shapes is like this. So this is the full extent of what you can build with every single block. You can make fences and thin walls and all sorts of things, different shapes. It's really very interesting. And of course with the windows as well, you get bulletproof windows and everything like that. So armored glass and even stronger ones than that. Combat steel, everything. So I think actually it's been really fun making this episode again, comrades. Yes, it's been a long time since I've made a video. And as I said, there's lots of reasons for that. So that's why I won't be making any promises at the moment in terms of schedules. I think that doesn't really work well for me, as we found out. Obviously I really want to make videos, but the truth is most of the time I just don't have the energy for that. Or sometimes even, you know, struggling with depression and things like that. But, you know, that's the thing for these days. You just have to really take care of yourself. But I'm always happy whenever I actually put a video out. So I'm not going away, comrades. And I just hope you're taking good care of yourselves and staying healthy. Of course, COVID is still with us. I haven't had a vaccine yet. We're still in the process of rolling out vaccines here in South Africa for people over 35 years of age. So I've just become eligible like a week or two ago. But I did register, so now it's just a case of waiting for my first appointment. And then we'll see at least, you know, a little bit of good news, I think. Obviously, you can have your opinion about the vaccine and all of that. But I think also you have to take into account the context. This is a developing nation and you don't want to be getting sick. You never know. You never know how bad it might be or what will be available to treat you. So obviously our hospitals have been quite full lately, again with the third wave. Anyway, enough of that. Take care of yourselves, comrades. I will save this file. I think it's an interesting thing to explore in the future. Maybe I'll do another one tomorrow. I'm not sure. I'm in the mood for it now again. Kerbal will come back to, of course, anytime. There's still lots of time before KSP2 comes out, and of course we have the full version now of the game, except there will still be another patch to add, I think, the gravity anchor or something like that. So again, I save all of that. We'll come back to that. We won't start a new one again. But anyway, take good care of yourselves, comrades, and have a fantastic day.